Hello, everyone. Well, we are going to complete our introduction to Grasp the Bird's Tail today. Today, we're also going to get to the point where we're really going to look at what we're going to call the waist, which is it's this part of our spine back here. And what we want to do in Tai Chi is we want to be turning from that and having everything. When we move forward, you know how we keep it centered? We keep our spine centered. We're going to be moving that point forward. Or if we go off on the diagonal, we want to go off on the diagonal intentionally. And when we turn, we want to figure out how our turning can truly be connected to this wonderfully connected body of ours that we've been working on, right? We've been working on a body that had this rounded back and this sunken chest, and it was erect, but we were relaxed down here. Well, why were we relaxed down here? In part, it centers us, but in part, it also makes it easier for us to turn. And when we can turn, we can do all sorts of things with our arms. So we're going to do that today, as well as review what we've done so far. So that's on our agenda. So let's get started with going around the clock with everything we know. And for those who weren't here last week, we actually added a new move, but we skipped the two moves we're going to work on today. So at one point, I'm going to say, move your left arm to this position, to this position. It's going to be in this position, and you're going to move it like this, and then bring it up, and then we'll go into push. So let's do Grasp the Bird's Tail without the moves that we're going to do today around the clock. Opening. Left ward off. Right ward off. Bring your left hand up, place it on your right shelf for your bird, and push. We're going to open our arms to shoulder width apart, come back over the ball, and push up the diagonal. Now I'm going to call this a little more than I did just a few minutes ago. I mean, just for that, let's try it again. Opening. Left ward off, swinging right, shifting right. Push that button, close, step. Left ward off, big bird on your left hand. Shifting back, turning right, all our weight left. Grab pull with that left arm, close, step, and turning left with your torso, raise that small bird. Now we're going to take this left hand, shift it up, put it up into the center of our forearm, and turn to the right, arms separate, shift back over the ball, up the diagonal with push. And let's turn around and face away from the camera if you're willing, and do it around the clock. And opening. Left ward off, shifting left, turning out that right foot, swinging your hips and all your weight to the right. Push that button and close, step. heel, ball, toe. You're shifting onto that left foot and you're turning to the right and looking to the right. Big bird on your left arm. Right ward off. Weight to your right. Turn to the right. All our weight to the left. Grab, pull out with that arm. Close, step, and raise your right arm as you weight comes forward. This is right ward off. Now we're going to skip the next two moves. Pull your left hand up, and we're going to go into push. You're going to push on that arm a little bit. Just come right over the top as you turn square. Arms are separated. You come back, shifting back along that center line and push up the diagonal. How are we feeling about that move? Ooh, nice positions. Very nice. Now, I said something incorrectly last week, and I want to make that clear. When we're going into, right before we go into push, our hand, I think I said it was, our hand was near just back from the wrist. Our hand that's coming out of press, which is something we're going to learn today, but actually it's more the middle forearm. All right. There are some times when we're very close to the wrist, and sometimes we're at the middle forearm, and my brain just picked one last week, I guess. Picked the wrong one. And I noticed when I was reviewing what we were doing. So I wanted to make sure I clarified that. All right, do we have any questions about push? What I would like to do is go over it just a little bit, and let's in these two directions, just the push part. So first you need to be in a right bow step, and you need to be sort of open to the corner, but not quite, because what you really want is like that right ward off arm, right? And you're off to the corner. But when you pull this hand up and you bring it in, you're going to turn just a little. Your shoulders are going to turn a little bit. So you're not quite as far to the corner when you start this move, which is push. What happens? We turn all the way to square with our torso and our arms separate. That's step one. Then coming back over the ball is step two, and then pushing up the diagonal. So let's do that again. From here, we were in right ward off, but then we moved into the end of press. We just brought this arm up, this arm up. I'll do it the other direction. You'll be able to see better in a minute. And then we basically give a little more push and release that elbow, that right elbow, go over the top. And that push is coming from the fact that we're turning to the right. Then we're coming back over the ball and up the diagonal. Now I want you to put, and we're going to go this way, do the same thing, but now what I want you to do is let's just shift, because we worked on shifting last week. So you're in a right bow step. So getting really good bow step position. And I want you to do it without pushing for a minute. Coming back, making sure you're coming in the center, and making sure that when you come back, maybe look at your own video of your little box of yourself or whatever, and make sure that when you come back, you don't look like this, that you look like a little bit like this. Your angle doesn't change. You see that? Nice, nice, very nice. Your angle doesn't change, right? And make sure that the center of you You kind of are going to gorilla. Like, if you feel this for a minute, if you gorilla, and that's what I mean by that is you kind of imagine that you really just relaxed your hips and your lower back. That's part of being in a gorilla. Don't relax the upper part of you, but just do that. That gorillas are actually built that way. You should feel more grounded in the ground. Now, you should also be aware of that lower part of your spine and just make sure it's pointing down, even as your body is kind of tilted forward. See, if you look at me for a second, you'll see that some people end up pushing their butt out, but you're going to want to make sure that, again, it's not super tucked under, right? You don't want to be like that, but you want to make sure it's sort of good. It's just nice and pointed down. So that wasn't directed at anyone in particular, but it's a common mistake. So we're going over it. And now what I want you to be sure is when you shift back and when you shift forward, that you are in fact going straight between your railroad tracks. So just practice that. And remember last week we practiced bending the back foot and straightening the front at the same time. And that's really, and now I want you to feel that there's a little push from that back foot, and then there's a little stop from the front foot. So then there's a push from the front foot and a little stop from the back foot. Your feet should always be a little in that earthquake mode so that they're really connected as we shift. And if you do this, it'll actually start to really work your body. You'll notice that your hips actually move. If you put your hands on your hips, you'll notice that your hips actually turn. Remember, at one point too, you can actually have your chest off either way at this point. Let's do that for a minute. Let's turn our upper torso, and yeah, nice, and just keep it. All right, now what I want to do is a little of this practice on both sides, and take this off. A little of this practice on both sides, and suggest that we mirror, right? So this is your right hand, and this is your right foot, okay? And I suggest that we mirror, and we just go back and forward. Nice. So you'll be in the same position. Nice. Now, I want you to stay forward, and I want you to turn without changing your hips or your upper body. Just between straight and to the corner. Nice. So you could just do your hands, if you can, see if you can imagine a kind of, let's see, what are we going to call it? A marker. And you're just going to draw a little marker like this with the center of you. And if you can, you can. And if you can't, it's fine too. So, and you can imagine that your shoulders, to the extent that they will move too, that they will be able to go to the corner. Okay? So we're just forward and we're doing that. Now we're going to go back. Can we do it while we're back? Yeah. But I want you to feel that it does make your feet need to ground a little, right? It needs to, it's just, yeah, you want to sort of get that feeling. All right, let's actually change feet because we've been doing a lot with our right foot forward. Put your left foot forward. And And you could actually start from here if you want. Come back over the ball and up the diagonal. You sort of haven't done that one. You've been doing it on the other side. Back over the ball, up the diagonal. Nice, nice. And then we're going to stay here and go like this. Nice. Yeah, I'm seeing good movement. Nice, 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 nice. And then we're going to stay here, just convincing ourselves that this is like a joint, right? You can actually swivel and keep everything. We talked about that really early, keeping these two, but now we're going to kind of start connecting things up at the top. All right. So now I want from here, what I want you to do is as you go back, and this is your left leg is forward. As you go back, I want you to also turn. So you're gonna straighten the front and your turn here. And then as you come forward, you're gonna turn back. Nice. And turn. Now there's a real tendency when you do this that you might want to do this, right? Because you're kind of thinking about that direction. But I want you to keep turning just like this, right? So you can go straight back and turn, but you're going to do it smoothly. Turning as you go straight back. Nice. Turning as you come forward. It's an exercise you can do, which is really handy. We're going to need this because this is what we're going to do in the first move we're going to do today. And here, we're going to go back with your right foot, which is where we've done push, right? Push, right? Okay. And we were doing our shifting here, right? Just again, straighten the leg, bend the leg, straighten the leg, bend the leg. This time, as you go back, can you go back? Can you go back and turn to the left? And then come forward. Nice. And turn to the left as you go back. It's kind of hard, isn't it? It's hard to keep going straight, right? To keep going straight back. But that is the assignment, okay? Now we're going to add one more thing to it. We are going to turn to the right, turn to the left as we go back. But then while we're back, we're going to turn square. And then we're going to just come forward. Okay? So that's our assignment. So we're going to do it again. We're square. We're going to shift back, turn. Nice. Turn back while we're back. Nice. Well done. And come forward. One more time. A little faster. We're going to shift back and turn back and forward. Shift back and turn back and forward. Keep yourself honest that you're going straight back even though you're turning straight back. Now, if your front foot starts feeling really light, remember, it's supposed to be 60-40. So when it's here, when your front leg is bent, you're supposed to feel 60% of your weight, 40% of back here. In this particular move, because we're going to turn so far, we're going to turn past 45 actually. It's 70 in the back and 30 in the front. So it's okay if it feels a little heavier, but if the front feels it's only 10% or something, which is very common, I want you to make sure that you're still tipped forward a little bit, and that you have put your shoulder, sort of your shoulder is pointing this way. Just make sure that, like, think about your shoulder. Think about giving a little more weight to your shoulder somehow. So let's try that again. We're coming back, we're turning, and making sure there's weight on our front foot. All right. And that's the footwork for both moves put together. Well, that's the footwork for the first move. And the second move is well, it's actually the footwork. The turning helps us get to the footwork for the second move. Any questions about that? All right, I want to talk about swinging, and then we'll have our Tai Chi toolkits prepared to learn these two moves, and it'll be pretty easy. Oh, that was a surprise. I thought it was water, and it was soda. I have water right next to it. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Yeah, it is funny. All right. I want to talk about swinging. So we're going to do some more of this mirroring. Okay. So so this again is your right hand, and if you can put your arms out here and turn your upper body a little bit, don't worry. Yeah, great. Now I want you to just be a robot. Sort of a robot. How would a robot move? But I want you to turn the other way. So a robot might move like this, right? Nice. Like you're just swinging, and then you can swing back, right? You're just moving your upper body and your torso, and your arms are going with you, right? And you could do something else. You could like bend one arm as you do, right? And you'd like gradually bend it. But if you're a robot, right, there's this kind of a controlled move that you think of from television or something, right? So you could like, that's what you sort of think of with a robot. And the shoulders and everything, I mean, there's just like, it's all the same speed all the time, right? And we think of that being true in our Tai Chi. And we've done this already when we were in left ward off and we went to right ward off. See how that arm is swinging? It just is going with our body, right? Our left arm is going with our body. It actually does a little more. I mean, sort of, to be honest, you know, you'll notice that it actually can bend a little sometimes at the elbow. That comes eventually. The swinging gets a little more dynamic, but basically it's going with your body. And part of Tai Chi is knowing when it goes with your body and when it doesn't. And you know how to do this. This is there already. What we're going to look at too, though, is another kind of swinging where you put your hands out, and you know, you can turn your shoulders or your torso. You put your hands out, and we're going to turn here as if we're like in a swimming pool, and we're going to let our hands go over the water, but we're going to try to make a wave at the end. So just as like this, right? Nice, nice. And then we're going to get over here and we're going to like pull through the water and then stop. And you notice how it kind of snaps at the end? You know, pull through the water and then kind of stop, and pull through the water and kind of stop. Well, you know what you could also do? You could pull through the water, turning this way, and then just turn back. Yeah. So let's try that again. So we're actually turned here. We're turning. We're not, when I say pull, we're not like pulling with our arms like this. We're pulling, right? We're pulling with our torso, and we're pulling in a way right from here. So we pull, 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 turn, 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 turn back. And can you feel this? That you can kind of snap it back? See if you can get that. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah. So turn back. A lot of that you're going to find in Tai Chi. This kind of thing is how you get something moving, and then it can come back on its own if you were doing it fast. So, so now we have everything we need to do the next two moves. So let's do them. So I'm going to put this back on. So there's a little bit of a tricky part here. All right. So where were we? We had an arm up like this and a hand here and our body. So you're looking and your body's going to be towards that corner. I mean, your torso, right? So if this is 3 o'clock, then this is 1:30, right? We're here. Everybody looks good. So your body is not square. Your body is, I mean, your torso is off to the corner here, right? What we're going to do is we're going to rotate both of this. It's going to be like a robot. Both of these arms are going to rotate. So let's just do that first. We're not moving, but they're rotating. So our right arm is rotating. We're kind of can look at the palm of our right arm, right? Our right arm is going to rotate. That thumb's going to kind of go down. The palm is going to go down. The left arm, the palm is going to go up. Okay, so you could just rotate it at the moment just to see that direction of the rotation. Okay. What we're actually going to do is our right arm is going to rotate and kind of, we're going to turn. And as we turn, it's going to come up, rotate, and almost look like it was pushing out at the corner. It's not pushing out. It's just sort of sitting up. Nice. And then we're just going to swing this arm back as we turn. All right, so that's going to be pretty easy. So let's try that again. Our right arm, we are turning from the corner to straight, and as we do, like a robot, it just rotates, and it's very smooth. One more time. From here, as we turn from the corner to square with our torso, our arm rotates and pushes out towards the corner. If I were doing it towards you, it would look like this. I'm going to do both hands. It would look like I was starting like this. This is my right hand in this scenario. And it would look like this. I wanted you to see that. So that's the rotation of the other arm. The other arm is staying, it isn't moving quite so much. It's just rotating like this. And it always points to the center forearm. So the right arm, if we're mirroring, is going to look like this as this one moves. And Watch my chest, how my torso comes square. Nice. All right, so here we are. As we turn to the right, our arms rotate. And back here, make sure you've got your chest to the corner. Make sure this hand is here. And rotating smoothly. And make sure, nice, I see these hands are here. Make sure you're not doing this. Make sure you're doing this. Great. I think everybody's got it. Right. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to get in our bow step. Get in your bow step. Put that shelf up for your little bird. Make sure that you're towards the 130 corner if this is 330. Your hand is here. And make sure you're gorillaed. Make sure you're kind of gorillaed there. All right. And we are going to turn, rotate, 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 rotate. Our gaze, our head follows and just looks over that right hand to this point. Now freeze those arms and do what we did before. What are you going to do before? You're going to straighten your front leg and bend your back. And as you go back, you're going to turn. You're going to turn. So now we're going to do this way so you can really see that a little better. So you don't have to look away from the screen or over your shoulder. So from here, turning to the right to get square, we're rotating, rotating, rotating. And now we're shifting back along that center line and turning to the left and just leaving our hands there. Now we've got the weight of our hands here too, which tends to make that front foot feel even lighter. So adjust that. Adjust that. Make sure that you can have weight on that front foot. One more time. From here, rotate, 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 rotate as you turn and shifting back, turning left. One more time. Rotate, 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 and shift back. I'm sorry, turning left. All right. Any questions about that part? Okay. So the next part is this part, the turn back part. So let me show that to everyone. So here we are. Rotate, rotate, rotate. This is roll back. And we come back and we are turned to the corner, right? Then we are going to turn our torso back. And when we do, we're going to release this elbow. So if we were moving quickly, what would happen? Well, let's see. Oh, that could happen. I'm going to show it to you from here. This is roll back, which we just learned. And then this. If I did it fast, it would be a lot like this, wouldn't it? That we did earlier. So, roll back. Press. It's going to whip around this way. I will call it as reeling in. This arm comes back and reels in, and you're very compressed, and then you press out. It's going to feel a bit like push because you're going to be pushing with your back foot, and you're going to expand because it's going to look like this. Roll back, press. See how close I am? It's like a violation, isn't it? It's like we're too close. I'm always telling you, don't be too close. Your body knows that. Your Tai Chi body goes, no, I've got to be bigger. And that gives you energy outward. You also have this hand to push. So you're going to expand as you go forward. And then guess where your hands are? They're right where we had them so that you can go into push. All right. So let's give that a try. I think the only way to practice this is to practice this. If you try it, like it's all right to try it a little faster, it actually gets easier to bring that arm in. And just remember, it's a turn back that gives energy to that move. So you can try it at any speed, anytime you want when you're learning it. When we actually do it, we disconnect those two with a tiny stop after rollback. So we'll do that right now. So here we are, nice, right ward off. And we are doing rollback. What is that? Rotate, rotate, rotate as we turn square, pushing, and our arm is out to the right corner, and without stopping, we shift back and turn to the left. Then arms, we turn back square. I'm going to call this better, and come forward. I'm going to show it from this side so you don't have to look over your shoulders. This is hard. All right. And roll back. Rotate, 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 rotate as our chest comes square. Then as we go back, remember your chest to the corner and you're just letting those arms go. Is your right foot have enough weight on it? Make sure it has some weight on it. Now you're turning back, letting that right arm bend, and let those fingers circle around of the right hand as you turn back and your left hand rotates. That's really all it has to do is rotate until it's there, till it's right inside, and then push with the back foot and with, push with the back foot. It's like a push with this hand. It helps to push you forward. At the same time, your compressed body shape helps. Nice, nice practicing. All right. Let's practice it a couple more times. And then we will be reviewing next week. We're having a shorter class today than normal, but we will get this done. From here, we'll do it from here. This is right ward off, roll back, rotate, and turning left, holding everything as it is. Then release that right arm, turning back with your torso and rotating that left arm. Push with the back foot, expand out for press. Nice, everybody. All right. Let's try it this way. From here, we were in right ward off. Sorry, right ward off. We're in right ward off, and our left hand is pointing towards the middle forearm. And both arms rotate as we turn to the corner, we turn square. Then we're going to turn to the left as we shift back, keep some weight on that front foot. Then you're going to, as you turn left. And then we're going to turn back to square with our torso. Let the right arm reel in, the left arm just rotates pretty much, and then push with the back foot. Doing it faster so we can feel it. Bring the left arm down and turn to the right. Can you let those arms go off to the right in the position we want them? Now, can you just come back? Let's not stop. Come back, come back, come back, come back. You're turning, then you turn back. The right arm reels around, and then you press out. Another time. Again, maybe even a little faster. Roll back. Don't stop. Let it reel around as you come back in and push out. I know this is hard because you're turning away, so we're going to do it this way. Roll back. Again, accelerated. Turning left. Turn back with your torso and press forward. Now the way it's supposed to be done. A slow, even turn to the right, immediately followed by turning to the left, swinging our arms as we shifted back, a little tiny pause, and then that arm reels in and we press out and expand. It looks good. So the position we're going to have here at the end is going to be this position. All right, let's see if we can put all this together. We will definitely come back to all of this next week. Let's see if we can put this together around the clock. Why not? So from here, prepare, opening, grasp the bird's tail, left ward off, all our weight to the right, close step, raise that big bird. Right ward off, shifting right, turning right. All our weight to the left, grab, pull with that left arm, close step, heel ball toe, bend knee. Roll back. Rotate, rotate, turn, rotate, 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 and turning to the left as we swing our arms. Little pause, then reel that right arm in as you're turning back and pressing, expanding out as you come forward. Then turn square, arms separate, back over the ball and up the diagonal for push. And let's do one more. Opening. Left ward off. rightward off. Bending in that right knee and turning right. All our weight left, grab, pull, close, step, and raise that small bird. Roll back, turning our torso square as our arms rotate and going back, shifting back, turning left, arms just coming with us, little pause. And then as we turn square, reel those arms in and then press out. Oh, sorry. Yes, there's push. Well done. I'm so sorry. Do we have time to do it one more time so we can do it right? Let's do it right. All right. Opening. Grasp the bird's tail. Left ward off. Big bird. Right ward off. Shifting, turning, all the weight left, grab, pull, close step, small bird, chest to the corner, and torso moving right, arms rotating, torso moving left, shifting back, arms stay the same. And reel that right arm in as you turn back, rotate that left arm and press out. Square your torso, arms separated, you come back and up the diagonal for push. Next week we'll have it all, right? All right. Everybody, thank you for coming and thank you for bearing with me today. Sounds good.